The Green Lanterns have a new mission, to retake the center of the universe from the Sinestro core. So who's gonna protect Earth while they're out there? Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where I take trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then I read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. This is a rebirth, a DC rebirth. It is not a reboot, it is the new status quo as DC brings back the things that you loved about your favorite superheroes, putting them into the existing timeline. We're going to be showcasing select issues of the Rebirth to let you know some of the starting points for these series. Each of these Rebirth comics is continued in the mainline book of the same name. This is Green Lantern's Rebirth. It is separate from Hal Jordan's Rebirth. Elsewhere in the galaxy, a Guardian of the Galaxy is trying to outrun monsters that are chasing him. He's carrying a box and he knows that it's time. It's time for something new. It's time for something of his creation, something forbidden. And so, as he becomes surrounded, he stops in the middle of space and he gives into his fear as he opens up the box. The colors of the emotional spectrum begin to fly out of it, and they circle around space itself, and the leader of the creatures chasing him sees the power and decides it will be his. Meanwhile, in Michigan, Simon Baz is wiping the word terrorist off of his sister's home. It's getting a little ridiculous in his opinion that he has to keep wiping this off. Then a government agent arrives and asks him why he missed his check-in. Simon tells him that he's been busy being a Green Lantern, and the agent tells him, "You agreed to this, Simon." But that's when Simon gets a call on his ring. So the agent takes the scrubby and begins to wipe the word off the garage while Simon takes off to find an unknown spacecraft that just entered Earth's airspace. The agent tells him, "Go do your superhero thing." Meanwhile, over in Oregon, Jessica Cruz is finally getting up the nerve to visit her sister's soccer game. She hasn't left her apartment in 3 years due to her anxiety, but she was kicked out recently, so she needs a place to stay. But then as she explains what's going on to her sister, she starts by asking if her sister's heard of the Green Lanterns. And that's when she gets the same call. A spacecraft has entered Earth's atmosphere. She takes off, leaving her sister with more questions than answers, and she lands and looks at the weird spacecraft in front of her. And then behind her, someone else asks, "Who are you?" "Because I'm the Green Lantern." And there stands Simon Baz. Jessica tells him that she is as well, so Simon asks the obvious question, "Did someone die to give you that ring?" Which confuses Jessica even further. Before they can continue with their confusion, there's an explosion from the ship and a manhunter steps out. Simon tells Jessica to step back. Since she's the rookie, he's gonna handle this. And he launches an assault at the manhunter. In response, the manhunter hits Simon Baz with whatever the heck he's shooting. And that's when Simon notices something odd. The manhunter's blasts are charging him. Simon is then knocked back, so Jessica jumps in, launching constructs at the manhunter. She stands strong as she shouts, "In the name of the Green Lanterns, back the hell off!" But the manhunter responds by firing more beams at her, throwing her to the ground. With both Jessica and Simon defeated, they hear an interesting phrase: "Simulation ceased." Hal Jordan floats over them in his proper uniform and with his ring. "Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, you were both chosen because you have the ability to overcome great fear. You better start acting like it." He then tells his ring to deactivate the manhunter. "This is a manhunter training drone. It was here to test you both, and you failed it." "Failed? How? I was following protocol and she showed up impersonating an officer of the—" "Me? You're the one who said it wouldn't take long, and that robot—" "It's called a manhunter, Jessica. Did you even know that before he said it?" "Maybe." Hal gets tired of their arguing and he has an idea. "Pop out both of your power batteries." And so, they do just that. Hal grabs them both and he combines them into a single power battery. From this day forward, you two are the Green Lanterns of Earth, and you will be partners, forced to work together. And since the rest of the Corps is busy dealing with other details out in space, and we're not here able to train you, you'll have the next best thing, the Justice League. And that's a good thing, because they're going to need it as a great threat is returning to Earth. The Red Lanterns are bringing the Red Dawn. Now this is the Green Lantern's Rebirth, following the 2 new Green Lanterns on Earth and the 2 that are going to be in the Justice League. What this allows for is Hal Jordan and the rest of the Green Lanterns that you know to be off in space doing epic space battle adventure things. So check out Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern's Rebirth if you want to see what's going on with all of the stuff you know, and if you want a really good starting point for the Green Lantern so that you can jump into the superheroes that I personally love, check out Green Lanterns with Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Comicstorian and Instagram at Comicstorian, and I'll see you guys next time right here.